Thank you so much for telling us a little bit about what it is that you do as a DJ in your day to day. That is super cool. I love hearing about all the technical aspects of what it is. Like, I love your setup in the back. I can actually see like visually what it is that you do. Tell us about that.
So basically, as an on-air personality, there are a few things that I have to do besides just talk to people. I have to do board operation, which is kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. Sometimes there's always a lot of multitasking going on in the studio. So, for example, we answer phone calls, but because of FCC regulations and because you never know what someone is going to say, we pre-record the phone calls as they're coming in. Then we have to pre-record our voice interacting with the phone call, and then run it through this board. So each one of these channels is a completely different element. We've got several mics in the studio. These three channels are dedicated to our virtual music platform. We have hotkeys, which hotkeys are basically buttons that you can press, like laughter sound effects or music beds that you can speak over. We also have, of course, like our DJ equipment, our Serato, which offers you guys our DJ equipment.
That is so cool.
Let me see. Let me make sure. Okay. Use a board like this to DJ. This is a Pioneer DDJ. And this actually taps over into the math aspect of STEM, because in order to be a great DJ, you have to be able to do quick math. And yes, Matthew, I am absolutely a DJ. I have been a DJ for 20 years. I started out on turntables. Actually, I have 2 pairs of Technics 1200s at the house and a very, very large library of vinyl. But I don't have to DJ like that anymore because I got this. This is easy. This makes it all better. I'm telling you, because when you use the older equipment, you end up with things like, somebody partying. You guys seen House Party before? He kept bumping the table and making the DJ mad because the needle drags across the record and skip. Things like that. Dusty records, so sometimes that'll make your audio quality terrible. Well, with the digital controllers, you don't have to worry about things like that. And it's one thing to carry versus 2 75-pound turntable crates. A mixer crate is about 15 pounds, and then several, 50 to 75-pound crates of records, like several. That's how it used to be. Now we've got that and a little hard drive, and I am so happy. Let me let you know.
Oh, that is so cool, Bella. So thank you so much for giving us a little tour with all of that. I'm going to ask you to just come a little bit closer to the microphone. I know don't worry, your close-up is beautiful. We love seeing your face. So your microphone picks up everything that you're saying, because I think it's really, really neat. All right, so you are DJ, and again, at DJ Bella Scratch, for anybody who's curious, wants to follow her and see what else she's up to. And you're DJ of The Drop, 303 of Rocky Mountain Public Media. So can you tell us a little bit about what education and experiences led you to where you are today?
Absolutely. So when I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a hip-hop artist. I just knew I was going to be the next Lauryn Hill or somebody. And it just wasn't working out for me in terms of, I didn't understand at that age that I could create my own lane. I was waiting on other people to help me, lift me up, or co-sign me. But I heard a commercial about a club in my city. At the time, I lived in Oklahoma City, and they were looking for a female DJ. So I went, and I got all dressed up, and I was like, hey, I'm your female DJ, So I landed that job, and I started learning. And then a little bit after that, I was in college, in and out of college, and I just did not know what I wanted to do. And my mom was like, you have a great voice. You should go into radio. And it was the first time I really listened to my mom, give me that kind of advice. So I went to broadcasting school. And the broadcasting school was pretty quick. It was about 9 months. But the thing about it is, what they don't tell you is how competitive this industry is. How many people would like to be on the radio, you know, and there are people out here with years and years of experience, etc. So I started interning at Power 103.5 in Oklahoma City, and I would work, 12 hours a day, helping them with music because they were moving over to that new FM station, and they saw my diligence and my hard work. I created value for that organization, and the value that I created led me to get an opportunity on that station in 2003.
That's amazing. And I want to point out something that you just said, which is both that you saw an opportunity and you asked yourself, well, what do I need to do? Right? Like, okay, I'm going to ask, I'm going to shoot my shot. And I think that's one of the things that, like, when we're looking at all of the Girls in Science stories with scientists that we've had, it's something that I think I've heard all of you say. It's just ask. And that's something that as a society, we just don't teach women to do. So I love that.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to create your own opportunities, and you have to have more of an entrepreneurial mindset when it comes to your career. Like, you really, really do. So for me, I'm always looking for ways to add value, right? As opposed to coming in with my ask. Everybody always has an ask. But how can you add value to something that's already going? And that is the best piece of feedback I could give anyone who is trying to enter a STEM career field where there is a significant amount of competition, is what are you bringing to the table? How are you adding value to their system, or basically contributing to what they already have in a way that they can't do without you, and you're not easily replaced. Then they'll want you. They'll want you, and it's going to be hard to find anybody else that's willing to do things that you're willing to do. So being at that radio station, interning, for 12 hours a day for months is what got me my initial start, because they were like, oh, this girl, yeah, she's going to work hard for us. She's going to make sure that when she sees a problem, she's going to try to fix it, or she's going to find out who can, so I kind of set a precedence for myself. Not everybody has that kind of time, but when you're a high school student, or when you're just getting out, or just hitting college, you've got a little bit more time like that, so make your time work.
Absolutely. And I think that's great advice to pass along. Can you tell us a little bit about who you were as a kid and what experiences or inspirations led to your career path today? Like, could you have imagined that this would be what you were doing?
No, because I'm telling you, like, I thought I was going to be Lauryn Hill. I'm genuine about that. I really thought that. And so that's all I ever wanted to do. And the DJing just kind of fell into my lap. And I would say that because I was able to make money on it, that's what kind of steered my trajectory. But I've always loved music. Every year, like, I was a tomboy and a musician. So I wanted to be a scientist or a rapper, And when I was young, I was told that I wasn't good at math, and that it's okay not to be good at math. And that kind of stunted my growth in a way that I didn't end up pursuing science, because science is a lot of math. And I started to kind of own what was told to me, and it sent me on this other, kind of lost trajectory. And that's something, as far as STEM is concerned, that it's important that we reinforce with young women. It's like, you can learn that. You can be good at that. You're not bad at it. If you just understand things a different way, or need to learn it a different way, because we all have different learning styles, right? So in a sense, I didn't ever imagine that I would be a radio personality. I never imagined that I would be, out here the way that I am. And it's a blessing. But I often wonder what my life would be like if I was Dr. Cyrus, or, a scientist, or working with space, or working in a box. Like, I often wonder about that. And that's why Girls in Science I've been looking forward to it so much, and it's so important to me because I want other little girls to know, hey, don't you listen to what anybody has to say to you. You know, when I was young, like adolescence, elementary school is when I was told that I wasn't good at math, and it's okay to not be good at math. It wasn't until after I graduated high school that my personality had developed enough to where when somebody would tell me that I couldn't do something, I was ready to fight. I'm going to prove to you that I can. Let me show you something, kind of thing, you know. But so many young girls miss out on that opportunity until way later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if we can play a song on Instagram Live, but what I will say is if you go to @DJ Bella Scratch, you can follow her and all of her awesome things. And Bella, when are you on air? When can people hear a song from you?
You know, you guys can check me out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to midnight on 104.7 FM. The Drop, the newest R&B and hip hop station in the Mile High City. Matt, specifically for you, honey, if you would like to hear some of my mixes, you can check out my website, which is bellascratch.com. I have some archived radio shows on there, and I have a lot of my mixes and blends and things like that. So you are more than welcome to go knock yourself out, honey. I got some heat, baby. I got some heat. So I'm an open format, open genre DJ, which is fun and interesting to be working on an R&B and hip hop station. Our program director / on-air personality, America Jones, really gives me quite a bit of latitude and freedom when it comes to my mixes and the kind of music that I like, because I always argue, you know, hip hop is a sampling genre. There would be no hip hop if there were no other music or genres to sample from. So I should get to play Joan Jett if I want to. So that's cool. Or maybe Soggy Bottom Boys, or maybe, you know, a little bit of Johnny Cash if I'm feeling like it. I should get to play that because we sample all of these things. We sample Indian music. We sample, you know, Chinese music and Japanese music and K-pop. And hip-hop is really a goulash of all these different genres. So, yes.
Absolutely. Yes, Bella. And I just want to point something out again. I second the comment that we got, which is that words matter. So we all have to be careful and we have to be strategic with the words that we use, especially for kiddos. Like for kiddos at any age, right? But especially in that critical development age, because I think, again, every women in my career that I have met has a story like yours. Like has a, well, I was told that I wasn't, or I was asked if this was, or I was told that this would take away from my family if I ever wanted to have one. Go for it. Don't let those words set you back. But two, I want to point out with your justification that you have there, that's critical thinking. That is using STEAM in your career and being able to advocate for what you want and what you see in your everyday, even if it's as simple as playing some Joan Jett. Yes, girl, use that.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
It's
Matthew,
for us to be able to stand up for ourselves and to already know what we are. And that takes, I know for me, my mother was my biggest influence. You know, I remember coming home crying when I was in middle school because we went to Ameritown and my teacher would not let me be a DJ. And I did want to be a DJ at Ameritown. That was the coolest job. And she told me I couldn't. She stuck me in the library. And I was by myself. Other kids don't want to play in the library. Nobody wants to play in there, you know? And I just remember coming home in tears. And my mom, from that day on and every day since, she always reminds me you can be anybody that you want to be. Do anything that you want to do. Don't let anybody hold you back. If you want to be a mastermind criminal that never gets caught, you totally could if you want it. If you want to be an astronaut, you can do that. If you want to be the first woman president, you can do that. Don't let other people tell you what you can and what you can't do. And my mom reinforcing that in me is what got me to this space where, you know, when I was older and I was feeling lost and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with myself or, you know, what I would be good at, those words would ring in my head and I work in a male-dominated industry. Media is very male-dominated. There are not a lot of female DJs. There are not a lot of female on-air personalities for radio or television. It's very, very much so the boys' club. So you can imagine being in a career field like this. I've run across plenty of roadblocks. I've run across people who have once again tried to tell me that I can't do it, or I shouldn't be doing it. Or I even had somebody go so far as to tell me I should take scratch out of my name because I'm not a turntablist and I don't be scratch. And I mean, if I didn't have that background of my mom reinforcing for me that I can do anything that I want to do, and that constantly playing in the back of my mind, maybe I would have reverted to that inner child, the same one who was told that she wasn't good at math, and not continue to pursue this career and not think that I was good enough. So, hey, each one teach one. When you see somebody out here struggling and trying to follow their passion, give them a little bit of an encouragement. Give them a boost, even if you can't quite see their vision. Still build them up. Say, hey, work on it, but I'm here for you. So
Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much, Bella. So we've got time for about one more question, and I do want to just address Matthew again. Matthew, I love that you're here for Bella's music. You can follow her music at DJ Bella Scratch. We're here for her story today, and we're so grateful to be able to hear that today. Yes. So can you tell me, our final question is, can you tell me what the coolest thing that you've gotten to do with your career is? Like, what's the best part, the wildest part?
Man, there are so many cool things. I would say the first time I played for a crowd that was 5,000 strong, that was actually the coolest thing ever, because I understand the addiction in that now. Why certain artists are like, and why people start to crack up when they're not a part of the mainstream anymore, because it's addictive. Like, everybody, as artists, we're constantly Care Bear stare. We want to make you feel something, right? Somebody wants a dedication to Girls in Science. We want to make you feel something, so we're constantly giving of ourselves. But it's when you are in front of a wild crowd. Like, I'm the resident DJ of Lester Pearl. When the city opens back up, I'll be there. My club is bananas. It's a line around the block of people trying to get in. And wall to wall, people are in there dancing like this, and when that energy is being reflected back at me, man, there's no better feeling than that. It is a high, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you. It is, that's probably my favorite. Probably my second would be hanging out with Snoop Dogg and just kicking it with different artists and finding their actual personalities in real life. And some of them are funny, some of them are surly, some of them are buttholes. Some of them are really, really down to earth, like Snoop was, and Rotimi and Eric Dillinger, and not even on any groupie stuff. Just like, these are real people. I'm a person. We all poop on the pot. So hey, let's be friends. Hi, I'm Bella. And that was my second. Just getting to get to know so many other artists in this industry and getting to look at them as if they are my peers. That's very special, part of this job in this industry for me.
Yeah, and they are your peers. You are. Like, I just want to highlight that. Oh, Bella, thank you so much for sharing that energy and that light with us today. Thank you so much for your story. It has inspired me. I'm sure it will inspire many other girls who are interested in getting into music, getting into the tech behind that, getting into whatever their passion may be, and not questioning themselves. So thank you for that.
It's my pleasure, Queen. Thank you so much for having me. Ladies, all of you ladies and gentlemen who, Matthew is just a troll. That's okay, Matthew. Enjoy your life. Support the women in your life. Support them. Give them hugs. Love them up. Tell them that they can do it. Remind them it's going to be hard. But anything that is worth having requires a serious amount of hard work and dedication. So just keep trucking, ladies, because it's definitely going to get hard. But I want to tell you today that pressure creates diamonds and gold is purified in a furnace. So if it's not hard, it's probably not worth your time anyway. So thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Bella. Thank you, everybody, for joining us with Stories with Scientists. This has been such a pleasure to host and to bring to all of you and to hear these amazing women and their stories. If you're interested in more Girls in Science programming, you can find it on our YouTube or at dmns.org and just click on the Girls in Science. Thank you so much, Bella. We'll see you next time.